What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord, Dr. Professor, Dark Joker, here with another edition of Traditional Fans with Opinions, where I'll give my reviews for whoever I watched, read, or played today. And who are traditional fans with opinions? That is myself, and that is you, the viewers. With all that being said, on with the reviews. Scum of the Brave, episode 17. So in this episode, Yasha remembers how basically, Jogamine's, father and who's Yasha's master was, he had learned that he was a half dragon executive. And then yes, and Yasha, the three girls, they go back to Tokyo. And like basically like so yeah, there's a lot of, conflict, there's like a, I guess a void in leadership in like the criminal underworld. So yeah, so basically, with the the demon lord being defeated, or whatever. It's like definitely interesting what's going on. So yeah, I thought this like so. You have Yasha remembering his when his master mentioned like him mentioned having a daughter because basically he has to get money to pay child support. And so yeah, and so Yasha has to reflect on the fact that his master was involved with some of the E4 research, and it's revealed that that Jogamine had died and that E4 was used to resurrect her, and that's why she has her like abilities, or whatever. Yeah, and then so, but yeah, so this is definitely gonna be interesting. Like, see what happens, like how Joga Mind's like powers, like her abilities play a role. Yeah, so and basically due to all that's going on, basically Yasha has to steal a car. So yeah, so it's gonna be interesting what happens. Like, what's the deal with Joga Mind's father? Like, you have you have the Count Coffin Storms is like causing problems, probably fighting with part half dragon, and like basically you got basically it's a freaking Tokyo's a freaking war zone. Like it is like it's a gang war with like basically magic involved. So that's gonna be interesting to see how that happens. So yeah, I thought it was a good episode. Looking forward to the next one. Daemons of the Shadow Realm, episode 6. So in this episode, Yoru has to work with Asa the Kagamoris to fight off their attackers. And during the attack, Asa, Yoru, right and left are like basically eaten by this one like this one daemon monster. It's like a yin yang type thing. Apparently, it's like two daemons that are like just merged in the form. So then you have Yoru's with left. Um, Asa is with right, and basically there's a conversation. So right asks Asa why she attacked him first, and basically because to reveal that right and left powers act as a counterbalance to each of the two twins' abilities, like the break and seal. With like so like with right being you know basically being like the natural enemy of Asa, and left being the natural enemy of Yoru. Now as not like they're actually enemies, but like in a power standpoint, like one's power counteracts the other. It's like a balance thing where so that's an interesting thing. And so Yoru tries to do some target practice at um he's trying to figure out, I guess, how to use the arrow because the arrow, I guess he's not used to it. Now, Asa and Right get out, they escape, and then they're like, Asa's able to like do something to convince that Daemon, like the Daemon monster, to turn on like its master, and so Asa becomes like its temporary master, and then Asa and the Cogwars, and then Yoru and Left are able to get out. So the group and Gabby were like returns, and she and Yoru automatically don't really like each other. So, but they all work together to so they capture they fight off their assailants. So they capture like basically the ones they got are a bunch of basically they're mercs. They don't know what's going on. They're just hired. They don't know who hired. The one who actually organized the whole thing was killed. So now the reason they go at the one thing is with the one that had swallowed like also your right and left, since they disappeared, so one Cogbers are worried maybe that whoever the masters could know about what happened to Asa and Yoru's parents. Now that ends up not being the case. So we'll see what happens. And apparently Asa reveals like how she like lost her so apparently Asa's afraid of the dark due to like she was kept in that the cage that we saw the fake Asa in. Basically the real Asa was kept in that cage. And like she apparently died. That she was killed by one of the village assassins. And now yeah, and like yeah, so and she had you know so she died like so Asa died, but she was like resurrected. And I guess whatever how like she also like like lost her eye. Like yeah, and it looks like whatever happened. Like it looks like next episode is when the actual circumstance regarding her death are going to be explained, or at least partially. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, I thought it was a really good episode. I really liked how they handled the like this fight, and so you see it is still funny. Also, still trying to get Yoru to let her hug him. Like I feel like that is gonna be a running gag, and it's one that I think could actually be funny. So yeah, I thought this was a really good episode. The fights were also the Daemons were cool. Definitely, there's at least a third faction. It was interesting how the Hogwarts over there asked, was it Kagamori that hired you? Like asked it to the mercenaries, reinforcing the fact that the Kagamoris aren't united. That the Kagamoris themselves are split into factions. So we'll see what happens. So yeah, I thought it was a good episode. Looking forward to the next one. Mal, episode 6. So in this episode, so after the the whole like answer like the like the like those Ayakashi were Nanika returns to the future. She's basically been missing for a month as far as as far as the people there are concerned. And then yeah, so and then basically yeah. And so one of the things that happened is like so basically she goes there, everyone's shocked to see her. Like she'd been missing for a month. So yeah, yeah, that was interesting. So and then yeah, so in this then when she goes back to her like to the past, she tells Mal and Otoya that that she's from the future. They don't believe her, but she mentions like the earthquake, and so and and then yeah, so so what they do is they mention the earthquake and and then like so that will yeah, I mean that would yeah be like that would lead to like like a lot of people having questions about where she's been all this time, and so now in the future, now in the past, so Mal and Toya now Mal fights the you know basically so he like so Mal comes across the Byoki, and he turns like this monster thing, and Nautica remembers the accident. So Mal, like at least his monster was fighting the Byoki, and that I guess all that help lead to her curse wear. And yeah, so she like remembers it. So there's like definitely some stuff going on. So yeah, like there's a lot of stuff going on with that. So like there's questions regarding like the Byoki, the like like about how like Byoki could have maybe affected uh Nanaka's grandfather. I'm not gonna get into spoilers about that. So definitely, so this is definitely interesting what's going on. So and so Mal was at the accident, at least there when it happened. So that's definitely interesting. So Mal was there, the Byoki was there. So yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. And and basically, so I you know thought this was a good episode. The big earthquake still to happen. That's gonna have a big thing. Looks like based off the previews, that could be next week. And we'll see how all like what's going on with like Mal, the Byoki, all that. So yeah. So I thought this was a pretty good episode. Looking for the next one. Kusunoki's Garden of the Gods, episode 6. So in this episode, so more like spirits, deities will arrive at the garden, including Samugi, Kuma, and so and then Kieran tries to leave a fruit, like a durian fruit, too. And so then Fuji and Raijin, they're growing into, they're maturing in their appearance, like due to I guess how Miyato respects them. So yeah, so one thing's interesting. So Miyato looks like I don't know if he's having people look at the house, like where's to buy it, rent where. And so apparently the spirits, I guess they want Miyato to stay. Like they want Miyato like to stay, I guess, because of his like because of his abilities, whatever. And and you have like the like some of the spirits like Yamagami. I guess they want Miyato to stay, So we'll see what happens. Like how like like how like they don't want like you can tell like what happens like if there was someone else in charge of the house, like what would happen to like these spirits? What would they just follow Miyato? Would they stay? Whoever. It'd be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, I thought it was a decent episode. Looking forward to the next one. Well, that's it. Did y'all like the stuff I reviewed? And if you have your own opinions about all that, you put all that in the comments. Thank you for watching, and like, subscribe, and all that. And look forward to the next video.